Rich Casey here with another Tuesday Tune In. Hey, just a quick, little spiritual encouragement for you today. Just a reminder of what we studied out of Acts chapter 8 last week. We just got into the first part where Philip and the rest of the church in Jerusalem was scattered because of a great persecution. And Saul was going around and finding people and trying to stop the movement that was happening in Jerusalem of the church growing and believing in Jesus Christ. But as people scattered, they preached the word wherever they went. And Philip went to a place in Samaria, a city in Samaria. It's a big region. And we're familiar with an area in Samaria as well, out of John chapter 4, with Jesus' encounter with the woman at the well, and how he just proclaimed that he is this living water and that whoever drinks of him will never be thirsty again. And so there's this life that comes when we believe in who Jesus is. And we find that what happened in that city is that people were listening to Philip. They were listening to the words he was saying and proclaiming who Jesus is. And then also they were seeing the miraculous things that he was doing, the signs of who Jesus is. And then they paid attention to him all the more because of it. And so with that, people were being healed. Demons were cast out. Paralyzed individuals were healed. And there was great joy in that city. And I just love that last little line there. There was great joy in the city because of the experience of Jesus and the gospel, and how there was just such good news about who Jesus is and what he does, that people were recognizing his worth. People were feeling joy over who Jesus is. And the city was transformed. You could just see the city was just full of faith and full of joy because of Jesus. And it just took Philip being faithful in the midst of persecution, in the midst of uncertainty, in the midst of being spread out across the world, and no matter what, that he was so in love with Jesus that he was able to proclaim who he was. And people listened, and they saw what Philip did, and then they were able to believe in Jesus and have great joy. And that is a prayer of mine for our city, for the city of Chico, and even surrounding parts in all of Butte County here in California, that there be great joy because people have experienced the love of Jesus. Because we as a church, not just Orchard Church, but the church as a whole, are collectively working together to spread the good news, to spread the gospel so that people's lives are transformed. And the pains and the frustrations and the hurt and everything we see in our city, in our town, in our neighborhood is transformed into joy in Jesus. And so I ask you, how can you have a part to play in that? I ask you, how is God nudging your heart to be part of what it is that God's doing in Chico, what God's doing through Orchard Church, or what God's doing in an area of your life where you've been focusing and praying on? Where is God sending you in order to present the good news so that joy may be spread? So I highly encourage you to think about that. Here just at Orchard Church, there's lots of opportunities. We have church on the street every Sunday, where we serve a meal at 6 o'clock to friends who might be experiencing some hunger, some friends who might be living on the street, or friends who just need a free meal and a place to go that's safe and socialize and have fellowship and experience the love of God. We also do worship on Sunday mornings. There's lots of ways to serve God in the midst of Sunday mornings, of welcoming people, of helping set up or tear down. And I'll tell you what, if you have a musical ability, I would love your help on the worship team, that's for sure. Or even sharing testimonies or speaking about what it is that God's doing in your life. In addition, there's people who've been reaching out to me a lot who have some medical needs that definitely need some support. A lot of it is rides to church. People need rides to church because they want to come and have fellowship with each other. So if you have a car and you have some time and you are willing to go and find some people who have been contacting me in order to bring them to Bible study or to bring them to church on Sunday, talk to me. I'd love to get you hooked up so we can at least find people to bring to church and get to know them. But we got to go out there and find them. Go to where they are and present the good news. Not just kind of sit and wait for them to come, but to be a church that goes and spreads and shares the good news. So God bless you today. Thanks for tuning in. And I will see you on Sunday, where we will continue with chapter 8 and looking what happened within the city of Samaria and how Peter and John came and what happened with the Holy Spirit there. Thanks for tuning in. God bless.